Okay, for this one, I'm going to show the very last one, which is the pomegranate and the orange. And this one's a little bit more complex just because you have more images that you're compositing. So that's why I'm doing this one last. All right, let me get back to, so again, on Google Classroom, I have all these files for you. So let's see where the orange is. Okay, here's the pomegranate. I need that. Open a new window, download. Go back here and hit the 3, open a new window and download. And you're welcome to use these pieces of fruit, which is why I included it for you. If you just want to do like step-by-step with the videos or follow along with the demo. But you're also welcome, to find your own things. That's fine as well. So I know some of you started on a piece of fruit last time anyway. All right, so now I'm going to get my oranges, open a new window, and download. All right, I'm ready to open up. Now I'm opening up 3 different files in Photoshop. File open, and I'm looking for orange. I think I'm going to call this one orange 2. Let's see. Yep, orange 2, because there's 2 different areas. And then there's pomegranate, POM, pomfruit, and then pomfruit 2. So open that, and pomfruit number 2. All right, so I've got all 3 of my images open now. And again, I'm going to go back to my orange. I'm going to do this segment first, and then I'll do that segment. Doesn't matter what order you do them. Again, I'm using my quick selection right here. I'm going to go up to my select. Oh, zoom in a little bit. I'm going to get just like a little bit more of that. It's missing just a few pieces. All right, selected mask. And I'm going to change my view. And it looks pretty good. I'm going to maybe smooth this a little bit. And I'm actually going to shift my edge just a little bit so I make sure to get all my orange pieces. And when I like it, I'm going to say output to new layer with layer mask. And again, the output settings, sometimes they're hidden. So you just have to hit this little drop down arrow thing. Output to new layer with layer mask. Hit OK, and there we go. I need to turn this guy back on. And now I'm ready to select this area. But remember, if I start trying to do it here, I need to be on this layer right here. So I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. I'm going back to my background layer. And I'm going to reposition this. I'm holding my spacebar on my keyboard so I can move to a hand and move this around. All right, I'm going to select this area. Looks pretty good. And I'm going to, you can see like how there's just like this little hint, this little edge of orange. That's why I'm shifting the edge, because it's not picking it up, and I don't think it's going to pick it up very well if I try and manually paint over it. So I'm just going to shift my edge a little bit just to get rid of that halo. So I'm shifting my edge out just a little bit. I'm going to smooth my edge just a bit. We'll hit this. And new layer with layer mask. Okay. And again, I'm going to turn this background layer back on. All right, so I've got my 2 different segments right here. You can see they're on different layers. So if I turn this off, you can see I've got my background layer, then there's one piece and another piece. All right, so I'm going to go get my fruit, and I'll use this one, Control A, Control C, and Control V. And I'm going to put this on top of this. So depending on where it is in the layer stack, you're going to want to move it above the layer that you want to clip it into. I'm going to put it into this segment right here. So I'm going to turn my background back on. I'm going to turn this guy back on, and I'm going to right click, Clippy Mask. All right, and you can see it's not in the right position at all. So I'm going to hit Control T. I'm going to move that around. I'm going to rotate that. I'm just rotating from the edge. And I'm going to just kind of warp this and shift this around. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and then maybe use my warp a little bit. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then see if my warp will help just a bit. So I'm going to get it kind of in the position I want, which I like. And then I'm going to Control T, right click, and warp. Let's see if I can just pull these edges a little bit, and I need to zoom out. And you can see I'm just kind of warping this and pulling these edges. So I have just a hint of that red, and when I'm happy, I'm going to hit enter. And there we go. That segment is done. I'm going to go back now, and I'm going to get my other piece of pomegranate. And Control A, Control C. All right, so this time I need to paste it on top of this piece, but I'm going to show you what happens if I don't. So if I don't do it on top, I can drag it down in the layer stack. I'm going to right click clipping mask, and it's way too big. I'm going to zoom out, Control T. There it is. I'm going to shrink that down. And just so it looks kind of proportional size-wise. Maybe I'll make that just a tad bigger. And then I might do a little bit of warping. And again, you know, this is just a sampler. This image has a watermark on it. Right click, warp. And there we go. I'm happy, done. So you'll save that one for your last one. Okay, and again, remember, File, Save As. I'll go through all the steps of saving this. So orange, pom, wacky fruit, Treon, save. And then the second time you're going to save it as a JPEG. And you can see if you've saved it as a Photoshop, the name is already there. So all I have to do is drop down to JPEG. And the JPEG is what you're going to turn into Google Classroom.